So the Arizona Cardinals did release their official depth chart today, and I've got to say, I'm surprised because not only are there a couple moves on here that have me sitting here with a question mark over my head, but a couple things that I thought would be surprising ended up not happening whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this if you guys haven't seen it already. So let me go ahead and pull it up and we are about to go over it right now. All right, man, let's go ahead and get this thing started. As you guys see at the very top, I don't think anybody's surprised about this whatsoever. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the starting receiver. He is the best receiver coming in day one. Not even close. We all knew that was coming. Then the other receivers on the outside, the other X will be Michael Wilson, and in the slot we'll have Greg Dortch. No one is surprised when it comes to the wide receiver room. That is kind of in play. Then we have Chris Moore backing up Marvin Harrison at the backup X with Zach Pascal as well, and in the slot we will have Zay Jones, who will probably be a hybrid of both, but he'll probably see a little more slot time. Then we have Andre Basilia ahead of Xavier Weaver, which again, not surprised. And we have Tajon Palmer backing up Zach Pascal as it stands right now, and I'm not surprised at the receiver rotation whatsoever. I think they kind of nailed this. Xavier Weaver will probably see a ton of reps and have the opportunity to jump up and forth, and same with Tajon Palmer. So those are two names we got to keep an eye out for, but the receiving room does not shock me, but the running back room, we are going to talk about that right now, is very shocking to me, as you have James Conner and Trey Benson is actually right now running back 2, which is a little shocking. I don't blame him whatsoever. You took a running back that high. I think he's the best running back in the class, so I'm not mad at it necessarily. I just thought based on the way training camp was going that Amari DeMarcado might have the slight edge, and obviously he doesn't right now. None of this is necessarily set in stone like I said, but as it stands going into the preseason, this is how it's looking. I'm a little shocked, because then after Amari DeMarcado being running back 3, which I think he deserves, is DJ Dallas over Michael Carter. I think this is kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. People are probably going to say that DJ Dallas has the capabilities to be a return man, but if you look at the way bottom under specialist, he's not even the starting return man. It is Greg Dortch. That's why I'm kind of surprised. I know it has the or there, but Greg Dortch in training camp was taking first team reps the entire time. So if that ends up trending that way and DJ Dallas does make it over Michael Carter, I would be shocked because Michael Carter looked great last year. If he ends up getting cut, I'm gonna be a little hurt. I think he's great. Then you got Tony Jones Jr. as the final back right there, but I think Michael Carter deserves to be running back 4, and I thought we were gonna roster 4 of them, but might be wrong there. We are going to find out. Let's see how preseason rep really pan out, because none of this really matters until we finally see those. Tight ends, Elijah Higgins has earned tight end 2. I think if you were attending training camp or have been paying attention, Elijah Higgins deserves to be that tight end 2. Tip Riemann, tight end 3. I think that's perfect. Then we got Travis to Blake to Bernard going 1 through 3 in the back end. And then what's kind of interesting is our starting offensive line. As you guys see, left guard was kind of the big question mark, and it is currently Evan Brown. Lady Froholt is our starting center. He is down with an injury. I think he'll be all right. Then you got Jonah Williams at right tackle. We all knew that was going to happen. Will Hernandez right guard and Paris Johnson at left tackle were solidified. Also kind of interesting is seeing Kelvin Beachum slide to left tackle and be the backup left tackle, while Elijah Wilkinson is going to be our backup right tackle. That's kind of interesting. And John Gaines has a ton of positional versatility, and he is currently listed as our backup center. Kind of interesting. I could see him flipping to guard as well if he needs to, but man, a little interesting things. And then Christian Jones also is our third string left tackle. I think they're going to let him develop and just kind of sit in the back end. Kind of want to see how he performs in preseason. That's going to be kind of interesting, but that's how our offensive line room is looking, and I'm not mad at it whatsoever. I actually really like it. It's just all eyes on Evan Brown. Let's see how he performs. He's going to be the starting left guard going forward more than likely, so keep those eyes peeled. And then obviously I don't think we need to talk about quarterback at all. It's Kyler Murray, and running back starting is James Conner, if I didn't mention it already. Those two are the most obvious things in the world. And then going to quarterback though, real quick to end the offense, Desmond Ridder is listed as QB2, and I think he has struggled in camp personally, and I would not have put him there. I think Clayton Tune has been outperforming him. I guess the coaching staff is disagreeing with me on that one, which is kind of crazy because I've watched Desmond Ridder just throw pick after pick after pick, so I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know if they just want to see what he can do with more competition in the preseason and he gets the earlier reps against second stringers. I'm not sure. I thought Clayton Tune was outperforming him. I guess I'm wrong though. That's the Cardinals offense, man. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the offense before we dive into the defense. I agree with some of them. I think the Michael Carter move being in the back end of running back is a little crazy, and then quarterback play, Ridder is QB2. Don't agree with that. Outside of that, I think they did a phenomenal job, and let's go ahead and dive into the defense, where I think they did pretty well as well. It starts out with your defensive tackles. You are going to have Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones starting, and your starting nose tackle will be Roy Lopez. Then the Cardinals' 2 starting outside linebackers with BJ Ojulari going down is going to be Dennis Gardeck. Dennis Gardeck is going to slide into that spot, and then Zaven Collins is going to assume the position he always was going to be in. He's going to be that other outside linebacker. Then you've got Kazir White and Mac Wilson at the other starting inside linebacker. So far, perfect. I still think they need help at edge personally, and they need to bring somebody in because I don't know how confident I am rocking Dennis Gardeck as the other outside linebacker, but for what we have on the roster currently, they nailed it. Then we go to corners where we have Sean Murphy-Bunting, Starling Thomas, and Garrett Williams in the slot, which I think is, again, perfect based on the way everyone's playing. Max Melton is probably going to be that teeter-totter guy, the guy who might slide in for Starling, but Starling is balling out in camp, and I think he does deserve a nod. It's definitely going to be one of the most highly competitive spots is that Starling Thomas versus Max Melton. I think both of them could walk away with it, so keep your eyes out for that. Then we got the 2 starting safeties, Jalen Thompson and Budda Baker. Nobody's surprised there. I think the starters are pretty perfect. I don't really know how you can mess it up, but the backups are very interesting as well. We're going to go ahead and dive into this real quick. So backup defensive tackle is where they have Darius Robinson at right now. He's going to be behind Bilal Nichols. I think that's fair. I think we're going to see him at edge a little bit, but I think he's going to predominantly be playing on the inside. And then you have LJ Collier and Dante Stills as well. I think they nailed that perfectly. At the back end, we got Phil Hoskins, Miles Murphy, Naquan Jones, Kyrus Tonga, and then Ben Still. Based on order, I love the way this is handled. I think they nailed this personally. LJ Collier, Darius Robinson, and Dante Stills being backups. I think rolling in with this rotation of defensive and nose tackles is going to be a lot better. I trust their durability a lot more, and rocking into it, I'm not necessarily worried. We have a nice rotation of guys. Dante Stills balled out, Darius Robinson getting reps. I think it's going to pan out pretty well. I think our defensive line is going to be so much better and levels what it was last year. Can't wait for that, but going to outside linebacker, I am a little worried. I am not going to lie. Victor Dimukeje and Jesse Luketa are our backups. Not a fan of that necessarily. I think Jesse Luketa was having a fantastic training camp. I'm fine with that. Rocking Victor Dimukeje, though, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that. If one of these outside linebackers were to go down, if he were to step in here, I'm not a fan. Xavier Thomas is in the back end. I wonder how he's going to perform. And then Cameron Thomas is kind of that brink guy that a lot of people had high hopes for. I did too. I wanted to see him or Myjai Sanders take off. Myjai Sanders no longer with us. Cam Thomas is here, but he's a 3rd stringer right now. Things just aren't looking great for him. So the outside linebacker room scares me, but Owen Popo and Chris Barnes, fantastic. Love our backup inside linebackers. I think there's another good rotation there. Outside linebackers just scare me a ton. I cannot lie. Going to the corners, I love it. I love Catrell Clark. I love Max Melton. Devad Wilson, I don't know how to feel, but you have Elijah Jones and Jaden Davis in the back end. They are going to be getting last reps. They're rookies, though, picked in the back end. This makes sense. See what they do in preseason. See if they can earn their way up the roster. Then going to safeties, we got Dadrian and we got Andre backing up. Love this. Joey Blunt will probably make the roster as a special teams guy, and I think that's kind of where it all ends, if I'm being honest. You can make a 53 out of this. I could probably do it and be pretty confident and nail it like 90%. If I were to make the roster, I mean, I would have had Michael Carter ahead. So none of this necessarily matters. We have Matt Brader and Blake Gillikin at our kicker and punter, and Aaron Brewer as our long snapper. Kick return, Greg Dortch. Punt returner, Greg Dortch. Love it. Greg Dortch in space makes people miss, so that makes perfect sense to me. I think he's going to win the spot personally. See how he does with the new kickoff rule, but this is our depth chart. Not necessarily hating it. A couple moves where I'm a little iffy. I kind of walked you guys through that, but for the most part, I agree with them. I think they nailed the defense more than the offense, but the offensive starters are perfect. Defensive starters are perfect as well. I think the only one you might teeter-totter is Starling Thomas and Max Melton, but they're going to have to earn that. Max Melton's a rookie. They're not going to give him the nod right away. Starling Thomas is a year 2 player, but he's also looked phenomenal in camp. That is a tough call. But outside of that, roster's perfect. Love it. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this down in the comment section below. And with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video, man. Consider hitting that subscribe button. If you are a fan of the Arizona Cardinals or just NFL content, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.